All right, y'all, breaking news out of Auburn, Alabama, and that is that man Gus Malzahn being fired. Like, some people are going to say, finally. Here's my thing with Gus Malzahn. I think Gus Malzahn is one of the upper echelon of coaches in the entire country. I just think that his time at Auburn had kind of worn itself out, and I thought he should have went out last year. This is something I expressed in multiple live streams. After they beat Alabama last year, I thought it was in his best interest to go ahead and leave on a high note, maybe take that Arkansas job that he was rumored to be up for and go from there. Now, if you look at it right, hindsight, I don't like to do the hindsight stuff. Man, it would have been pretty nice for him to land at Arkansas, which doesn't have that bad a roster as we've seen with a guy like Sam Pittman. And, of course, Gus Malzahn is a better coach, or at least a more experienced coach, a more productive and more accomplished coach than a Sam Pittman. He would have been back in his neck of the woods, would have had a lot of home state support and everything like that. Sometimes you're defined by the moves that you don't make, if you get what I'm saying from there. So I don't like to talk about other people's money, but the buyout is definitely significant there. So from Auburn's standpoint, I don't know what type of money they have to go out and get a big-name coach. Now, everybody's going to speculate a guy like Hugh Freeze. To me, Hugh Freeze and Gus Malzahn are very similar. To me, they're very similar, although Hugh Freeze's style and everything like that is a little bit more predicated on what people are doing today. I'm just talking about as far as just being offensive guys. Like, if you're Gus Malzahn, you start bringing in guys like Chad Morris from the outside to tweak or run your offense, then you know that your next step was out the door because you're supposed to be that guy. So it's not like he's some type of defensive genius or anything like that. So you could pretty much see this coming. That's what I always see. When you see somebody needing help on their side of the ball, they're in trouble. So Gus Malzahn should have thought about that, but sometimes, right, you just keep going back to the same wife or husband or same spouse and hoping that things will change. But the fan base had grown weary of Gus Malzahn, and he's pretty much trash no matter what he did. He's one of these only cats that every 2 or 3 years he was going to beat Alabama. There's a lot of teams out there that can't say that at all. He was very competitive with Alabama in certain instances, beat them, of course. And he has some shit in his resume, man. So I would think a guy like that will be able to land on his feet somewhere. You just never know who's out there or what's out there. But maybe some of these guys are now going to get some of these up-and-coming coaches. They're being a little bit more cheaper, so you don't know how that plays itself out there. Man, if I'm Auburn, though, shit, I want to see if Mario Cristobal would like to come back to this neck of the woods. With the way he recruits, I know he's got a great thing going out there in Oregon, and to me, that's a lateral move at best. But to me, it would only be an upgrade if maybe he just wants to live closer to where he's naturally from. Obviously, he's from Florida, Miami, Florida, and he will be able to recruit Miami very seriously, be able to recruit the state of Florida, which Auburn does already, be able to bounce into Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, and different places like that. I would definitely see if he's interested. From his standpoint, I don't know. It would just be a logistical thing because Oregon is definitely a better program than Auburn right now, but they offer a lot of the same things. Auburn, at one particular point in time, reminded me of an Oregon. As a matter of fact, they're in the national championship game together as opponents, so imagine that. So I would put in a call to him. Hugh Freeze, naturally, of course, everybody's going to talk about there. I have some other guys, but I wouldn't want to get this out there and we can start bandying about names a little bit later. I'm really interested. To me, this is one of these jobs where if the right person comes into it, man, they can make some noise at Auburn. I really do believe that. So y'all let me know what you think about that. This is, I would say, man, it's almost not expected. It's almost not expected, even though I'm not surprised, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. This is a weird year, obviously, but Gus Malzahn no longer at Auburn. Let me know what you think, all right? Peace.
What more can I say?
Top billing.